All right, so have you ever gone down a true crime rabbit hole? I mean, really deep, where the internet becomes this whole other crime scene?
Oh, absolutely. Especially these days, right? It feels like every other week there's some new crazy case going viral.
Right. And sometimes it's not even just about following the story. It's about actual people online, trying to solve it themselves, which is what we're looking at today. This case is, well, it's messed up, to be honest. It all started back in 2010 with this video. I don't know if you remember this. It was all over the internet. It showed this guy harming kittens.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember hearing about this. Wasn't that the case that was featured in that Netflix documentary, Don't Flock with Cats?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. And it's crazy because it wasn't the police who initially cracked the case. It was this whole army of internet sleuths. They were the ones who really dug in and started putting the pieces together. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing, right? We're talking about everyday people just using the internet. And they managed to uncover clues that, well, initially the police just missed.
Yeah, the internet, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It can be this platform for, well, horrific things, but then it can also be this incredible tool for justice, And this case, it really highlights that. The level of detail these online sleuths were able to pick up on, it's mind-blowing. They were analyzing everything, literally everything. The type of vacuum cleaner in the background of the video, a poster on the wall, even the language on a cigarette pack to try and figure out where this was all happening. It's insane.
I mean, it's scary how good people are at that kind of stuff, Finding those tiny little details makes you wonder what else they could find out about any of us.
Yeah. But it's also kind of cool, these were just regular people who were so disturbed by what they saw that they felt like they had to do something. And they did. They actually managed to put pressure on the authorities. But I think what's really unsettling is that they kind of figured out pretty early on that this guy, he was enjoying the attention. He was feeding off of the reactions to his videos.
Yeah, that's pretty chilling, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like they were playing right into his hands.
Right. And that's where the real fear started to set in. Because everyone was like, okay, this isn't just about animal cruelty anymore. This is something much darker.
Yeah. There was a sense that things were going to escalate. And tragically, they did. In 2012, a new video surfaced. And this time, it wasn't a cat. It was a human victim. And suddenly, this guy, Luka Magnotta, he went from being this unknown internet creep to, well, a full-blown murderer. It's so crazy, right? How did this seemingly ordinary Canadian guy become, well, a killer?
Well, I think Magnotta's case, it really shows us the dark side of internet fame, He was obsessed with it. He wanted to be notorious, to be recognized, even if it was for something horrific. And in a way, the internet gave him exactly what he wanted, which is a whole other really disturbing aspect of this case.
Yeah, did the internet and all the attention he was getting online, did that push him further? Did it actually make him do worse things? Because he was leaving clues, right? Almost on purpose. It was as if he wanted to be caught.
Oh, yeah. He was arrogant, he was sloppy, and he loved the attention. He was leaving all these digital breadcrumbs, almost taunting the people who were trying to track him down. He even used different aliases online and was constantly posting on message boards and forums, bragging about his crimes. He thought he was smarter than everyone else.
But he wasn't. I mean, they caught him, right? In an internet cafe in Berlin.
Yeah.
Of all places. He was searching for news articles about himself. It's almost poetic justice.
It is, in a way. It shows how our digital footprints can be used against us, But it also raises this whole other moral question. Did the internet actually help catch a killer? Or did it just feed his ego and make things worse?
Yeah, that's the big question with online vigilantism, right? Where do you draw the line? On one hand, these internet sleuths, they played a huge role in cracking this case. But on the other hand, could all that attention have been what Magnotta wanted all along?
That's the dilemma, right? It's hard to say for sure. I mean, obviously we want justice to be served, but we also have to be careful about glorifying these kinds of criminals. We don't want to give them a platform, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's something we all need to think about, how much attention do we give to these kinds of stories, and how do we make sure that we're not inadvertently contributing to the problem, especially now when everyone's online and it's so easy for things to go viral?
It's a tough question, and there's no easy answer. But I think it's important to have these conversations, to be aware of the potential downsides of online investigations and of internet fame in general. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? there's a dark side to it.
Yeah, there definitely is. And I think Magnotta's case is a perfect example of that. It's a reminder that the internet, it can be a powerful tool for good, but it can also be used for, well, for some pretty messed up things. And it's up to us, I guess, to figure out how to navigate that.
Absolutely. We all have a responsibility to be mindful of how we use the internet and to be aware of the potential consequences, both positive and negative.
Yeah. Well, on that note, folks, I think it's time to wrap things up. But before we go, I just want to leave you with one final thought. We've been talking about the dangers of internet fame, the dark side of online attention. But what if we could use that same power for good? What if, instead of fueling the fire of those who crave notoriety for the wrong reasons, we could use the internet to shine a light on the everyday heroes, the people who are making a positive difference in the world? Maybe that's the answer, you know? Maybe that's how we can combat the darkness. Just a thought.
I like that. Yeah, that's a great thought.
All right, folks, that's it for this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and stay informed.